Man, here's some of the UK people that I've listened to. Man, let me know if you've ever heard of any of them. You heard of One Asin or nah?
Yeah. One Ace sure. Yeah.
Tion Wayne.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah. Okay. Scribs Riley.
Scribs Riley, it does ring a bell.
You said what?
Rings a bell.
Uh,
Not sure if I've heard the music.
21 Savage.
Obviously, bro. He's British now. When that blew up on the internet, like the memes were like unbelievable, like
Y'all
so
know about
funny.
that the whole time, or y'all was surprised too?
Yeah, of course we were. You say 21, I'm thinking of Atlanta. I keep forgetting that he's British. British, yeah.
Alrighty, man. Well, let's start it off, man. Look, man, we're here with Koza, UK artist, man. Introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, Koza, Koza. I'm a British Indian artist. I love making music, love listening to music, love seeing music. I make hip hop and rap music, but blended with sort of South Asian influences, Indian influences. Sometimes I take Bollywood samples, sometimes I take like Indian flute sounds and put them together. And I rap about, just like my life experiences, the good times and the bad times. So yeah,
How long you been making music, man? You say you do it with the hip hop and rock, but I check your Spotify, man. You only got like 3 songs out right now, man. So you
yeah, man,
did it, or
yeah.
songs got taken down or something?
No, I mean it's been a bit of a journey. So I played the drums as a kid. So I've been playing the drums since I was like 8 years old, and then I studied like how to play the drums properly. Like played in rock bands, played in jazz bands, played in orchestras.
Hold up.
So I've always like had that thing of like trying to understand rhythm and stuff. But I didn't start rapping until like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And it was really casual, just like I was basically just freestyling disses at my friends, just trying to make them laugh like a party trick.
Yeah, yeah.
But then, like, the more I did it, the more I realized like how much meaning it could bring me. And then, certain things happened in my life that I kind of needed to like sort my head out. And I wrote like a few songs about it privately, like a few years ago. And when I wrote those songs, I never intended for anyone else to hear it because it was more like a personal thing, like me just trying to figure myself out. But then eventually my friends heard it, they loved it, and they just really encouraged me over the years to just like try and share it and put it out there. So then, yeah, last year I kind of took the plunge, went to a few open mics in London, and literally like the very first one I went to was like March last year, and as soon as I had the microphone in my hand and I had my music playing, I just knew that is exactly where I needed to be. So I just kept chasing that. So then, yeah, I've got all these songs, but I'm now just trying to work with like producers, like videographers, and like slowly I'm trying to build up like my Spotify catalog.
Right. I seen that you was put out the music video for the new song that you dropped a while back ago, and it was getting even played on like the BBC radio out there. Pause. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
so for someone who's just now, recently dropping music, it seems like you was
yeah,
doing good, man. You was on the Australian radios I've seen as well.
exactly. Yeah,
It
yeah,
looks like
man. I mean,
this.
yeah, appreciate it. I mean, yeah, I, yeah, like I say, I mainly did it for myself, but then the more I got into it, the more I wanted to see like how far can I really take this.
Right.
So with that first song, Kohli, so I've got two songs. I mean, I've released two singles, Kohli and Shadows. Kohli is kind of like a cheeky, tongue-in-cheek kind of song, like kind of mixed with cricket metaphors, but essentially just trying to chat to a girl.
Yeah, I heard that.
Um,
I heard you name dropping Kohli. Is he like the Babe Ruth of cricket out there, man? Like for the
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, man. He's a legend, absolute legend in the game. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, like it's interesting. Every time I do a song, the more I learn about how I can do it better next time. So that first song, like I just threw everything I had at it, try to link with some mates that I know that make videos, like hired out a good studio, worked with a really good like mixing engineer. And he kind of gave me some tips saying like, you should like, tag people on Instagram, find emails, email them, trying to submit your music everywhere. And I literally sent out, must have been like 50, 60 emails for that one song. and yeah, I like only a like maybe a handful came back, but still like I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have got that without trying like way harder.
I mean, that's honestly how I discovered you. I was just like, when with the concept of just interviewing, foreign and overseas artists, just getting a more global scope to music. I was just looking up UK artists, man, and I was already familiar with like some of the bigger name UK artists because the
Mm.
UK wave out here, it's been getting a lot bigger, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'd love to hear it.
yeah, man. So like whatever things that you was going through, to like submit it, to like email, like the different channels that you were navigating. Hey,
Mm.
you got me to discover you. So
Yeah, man, that's perfect. Really glad to be here. Really glad to hear that. Yeah, man, you just gotta keep trying. I mean, yeah, I feel like you hear like a lot of artists say it, but I remember watching a Tyler the Creator video the other day, and he's literally saying like, it might seem like to start off with no one's hearing your music, but you're building a resume. It's about like the project that you're building around yourself. So yeah, man, I'm just gotta keep trying, keep knocking on the doors, and then yeah, hopefully more people like yourselves will like find my music.
yeah, I'm an artist myself, so it's like getting like promotion and marketing is one of my weakest assets when it comes to
Mm.
this. We can get in the stew, we can make the music all day. That's just what we do. But when it comes to
Yeah,
just like advertising it and getting it out
exactly.
there, we just got to find different ways. Because for me
Exactly.
personally, I'm in the same boat as you. We sending out emails and everything, and only a handful of people respond.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just part of the game, I guess.
It is, yeah, and it's like something like I'd never even thought about like before. Like I say, like I never intended to like try and be an artist or like try have my music heard, but it's a yeah, definitely a learning experience, and yeah, like you say, you just got to keep trying, and then you never know.
So
So
as you're taking it more serious now, I imagine, because you were saying like you wasn't really ever seeing yourself as an artist. Do you see yourself taking it to more extreme heights? Do you see yourself getting a lot bigger as an artist, and really being able to be one of the prominent UK figures, or do you just want to keep it low key?
yeah, I mean that's kind of something I had been thinking about, but before I release my music, but now that I have, like, now I've got a taste of it, I just really want a lot more. Like, yeah, I definitely see myself just like trying as hard as I can, trying to get my music heard. Because it's just like, I don't know, something special about like connecting with so many different people and relating to them through music. And it's kind of like, that's definitely, it's so like fulfilling,
Yeah.
like as a passion. And it's like, yeah, definitely. Like, I just want to keep leveling it up every time.
How do you feel like the music scene is out there for like the underground scene in the UK, as far as like breaking through and gaining an audience? Do you feel like it's more difficult out there, or do you feel like y'all got a pretty strong underground scene to where it's like y'all got a good culture of music?
Good question. Yeah, I mean, there's always like the industry and like, like there are like programs and stuff to find new artists, but there is obviously like a very strong underground scene. And I think, generally artists do change like their sound and their music when they go from the underground to the mainstream. Um, and like I've lived in London for a few years now, and I feel like I'm only scratching the surface on like what's actually here, or like what the UK scene's about. Um, but I feel like it kind of depends where you live as well, because obviously all the people in London, like London split into like four, like north, east, west, south. All the people in those different areas will only probably listen to the people around them.
Okay.
Likewise, like up north in England, like Manchester, Newcastle, Liverpool, they've all got like these amazing artists. And yeah, I feel like it's easy to find them when you're looking for them, but otherwise, like you wouldn't really catch them in the mainstream.
Man, put me onto some UK artists, man.
Oh, mate, so many.
Really listen to that UK. 'Cause I got a couple UK artists that I got in my rotation, that I found out through the years.
Oh
But put
yeah,
me onto some new sounds, man.
yeah, man. Well, like today I was listening to Scraps. If you've heard of Scraps,
Mm-mm.
um, so that's Skrapz. He's got a like proper smooth vibe, like kind of like got that gig sound. You know gigs, right?
Yeah, gigs,
Yeah,
Skepta.
he's kind of got like that gig sound, but like his beats are like a bit slower paced and like yeah, he's kind of just storytelling and like that's what I really like about his flow. Similarly, like when it comes to storytelling, Potter Paper, if you've heard of him, Potter Paper, yeah, definitely need to listen to that. Like, yeah, some really gritty sounds, like yeah, from the UK for sure. My personal favorite, JK. That's Jaykae.
Uh,
He's a. You heard of him?
I've seen his name through it, like
Okay.
different shows.
Yeah. He's a like personal inspiration for me, because in the UK, like historically, there's always been like the London music scene versus rest of England, rest of Britain music scene. I like, historically, like it's only been mainly people from London that have been blowing up, but especially when it comes to like hip hop and grime. But JK, like, was one of the first ones out of London to like, outside of London to like really make a name for himself in Birmingham. And yeah, he killed it. Like his flow, his delivery, his storytelling, like are all just like 10 out of 10. And because I'm not from London personally, like I grew up like in the northeast of England, it's quite inspiring to see that, anyone can just sort of like, jump on a mic and then if they're good at what they do, then they can like, make a name for themselves.
Right, right. I do notice that more with UK rap that it is kind of more like bar, like it's focused on the bars and it's focused on like the storytelling a lot more,
Mm.
as opposed to what I feel like more popular hip hop here is in the states. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not off the mark on that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like maybe the UK sound is changing in a little bit. I mean, like obviously we're influenced a lot by like US hip hop, North American hip hop.
Right, right.
But yeah, there's definitely like stuff for everyone. I feel like the roots of like grime comes from like more dance music, like garage, drum and bass, even dancehall as well. So there's always been that kind of like rhythm. But then when you introduce rap into the mix, people have like more options to play with,
Right, right.
um, to like tell stories.
Man, here's some of the UK people that I've listened to. Man, let me know if you've ever heard of any of them. You heard of One Asin or nah?
Yeah. One isn't sure. Yeah.
Tion Wayne.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah, okay. Scribs Riley.
Scribs Riley, it does ring a bell.
You said what?
Rings a bell.
Uh,
Not sure if I've heard the music.
21 Savage.
Obviously, bro. He's British now. When that blew up on the internet, like the memes were like unbelievable, like
Y'all
so
know about
funny.
that the whole time, or y'all was surprised too?
Yeah, of course we were. You say 21, I'm thinking of Atlanta. I keep forgetting that he's British. British, yeah.
Have you been to the States or nah?
I went once on holiday as a kid. We went to Disneyland in Orlando, but I haven't been back since. Yeah, I would love to go back soon. Like, I definitely wanted, like, I just want to see all of it, especially for the music. Like, want to go LA, like, see some music there, go to New York, see, like, see where it all came from.
Yeah, you got to tap in with Charlotte if you come back into the States, man. I'll make
Oh,
sure.
yeah?
Yeah. That's where I'm from,
Yeah, man.
Charlotte,
We
Carolina.
can link. I can see you live.
Yeah, man. It's pretty good music scene out here for like underground, but for like popular stuff,
Mm.
not a lot of people really break through as much. I mean, you might have heard of the baby. He's from Charlotte.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, like J. Cole is surrounding North Carolina, where Charlotte's at. But as far as like
Mm.
actual Charlotte artists, it's not really too big of a popular music scene. I feel like it's a lot of underground here. So I personally feel like it's a little bit harder to break through from this city
Hmm.
music scene, which is why I was curious about the UK. I've been to
Yeah.
the UK once in like 2016.
All
Um,
right.
yeah, it was pretty smooth vibe, whatnot. Um, I feel like I didn't get to like go into like the nightlife scene or whatnot and see how like the clubs were going or what the type of music was playing in there. Are you pretty
Hmm.
big on the like night scene out there or nah? Gotta like stay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's when I was at university for sure, but now like working, I'm trying to do this music stuff on the side. Like I only have so many hours in a day.
Right.
But yeah, to be honest, whenever I do go out, it's like definitely music related. Like lots of like big festivals happen in London, and they have like artists from all around the world. But like I don't exclusively listen to hip hop. I listen to like a lot of like techno, house, garage, drum and bass. And yeah, it's just really fun like meeting all of these artists and like hearing all these new sounds. I guess in terms of nightlife, what I've discovered, like I feel like London's really special for this because probably a couple times in the week, like you'll be able to find like an open mic night or like a jam where, they have musicians playing and like literally anyone can jump on the mic, do their thing and like, inspire a crowd or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like London's like is genuinely like quite special for that because I'm not like, I don't think that's common. Can't really think of anywhere else in the UK that has that ability where you can just jump out any day of the week nearly and find a gig.
Oh, dope.
Um, yeah, so like that's what I mean. Like I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of because I'm trying to get more into that myself. But in terms of nightlife, like yeah, you can find artists. Definitely in London. I'm thinking like I feel like each city has its own kind of vibe in the UK. Like for example, where I'm from, like up north, like it's a lot more about like drum and bass, techno kind of thing. There is a hip hop scene, but that's only because I know people in that hip hop scene personally,
Right, right.
and I'm not sure I would have heard of them otherwise. But like I feel like every city like is quite proud and like quite proud of their artists that they produce.
Yeah, I feel like because it is such a probably more of a niche like genre out there, since like you said, it is
Yeah,
relatively new out there, and they're probably listening to more like the techno, the house, the garage music. Um,
mm,
yeah, I was actually out in Germany like a few weeks ago, and I met up with some Brits out there, and they were telling me about like the music scene of like the
no, yeah.
garage music, and it seems to be like that's like y'all's number one genre out there.
Probably is, yeah, to be honest. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, the country's built on that, like, to an extent, like, from, the 60s, 50s, 70s. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, I had no idea, man. I've only been out to like European countries like a handful of times. I'm just now getting new into traveling and going into it. So, um,
Nice.
how do you feel like you said you you didn't live like grow up in the UK or London, right?
I didn't grow up in London. I grew up, like, in Northern England.
Yeah.
But I was actually born in India, but I moved to the UK when I was quite young.
Oh, word.
So that's what I mean, like, because obviously, like, I still have a lot of family in India. I grew up, like, listening to Indian music, watching Bollywood films, that culture is, like, a part of who I am. But then at the same time, like, I was blessed enough to have, like, the second culture to embrace as well, like, in the UK. And also, like, listening to, like, music, like, classical, rock, rap, jazz, like, all of that. Like, I've just tried to embrace it.
What do you feel like you kind of like lean towards more on like the cultural identity side for it? Do you feel like you're more like the European side of like the UK and London or England, or do you feel like you're more in touch with like your Indian side? Like, are you eating beans on toast or are you eating curry? You know what I'm saying? Or are you like
uh,
are you putting it together for like beans on naan?
tricky question. You know what? I'll have beans on toast for breakfast and then have curry for dinner at night. Yeah, I'd say it's like pretty even split. If I'm honest, like my family speak Hindi, like one of the languages in India. My Hindi, like I can understand it fluently, but because I grew up learning English as a first language, like that kind of makes it more tricky.
Oh,
Um,
of course. Yeah.
so yeah, and like part of what I do with my music, like I'm trying to like push myself to like actually like try and write some of my bars in Hindi as well,
Oh,
or
word.
like use the music that use the music that I listened to growing up, and just try to embrace that culture. But like I normally go to India, if not every year, at least once every 2 years, and like go traveling out there, like see my friends, see my family, like stuff like that. So pretty even split.
Yeah, as far as like the Indian scene, I'm completely almost new to it, like blind to it almost. Like outside of Nav, I don't know no other.
No, we love Nav. We love Nav.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, to be honest, like I'm like trying to get in touch with it as well. Like, so I have a lot of cousins in India, and they put me onto like some crazy artists. There's one called Divine, and he has his own movie that I watched. It's called Gully Boy. And that movie is like the Indian 8 Mile because it's like this guy, like it's actually crazy. Like 8 Mile is like my favorite movie, and like Gully Boy is not far off, just because it's like literally like this guy like from the streets goes through hell, has a once in a lifetime opportunity to like make it out, make doing his music, and it's actually based on like that artist called Divine. So yeah, like there's a lot of like rap and hip hop and like just other genres taking off in India right now.
I'm gonna have to check out all these names after this shit, man. All the names that you're checking in with, man, because it sounds like honestly like good potential for like a whole different sound of music. And I feel like if
Yeah,
someone like you was like who's in tune with like both of those things, like somehow merge them and like create your own new sound, like I feel like
yeah,
that's a lot of potential.
yeah, man. That's the plan. I mean, yeah, you just gotta embrace who you are and like where you come from, I guess. Because yeah, do see like a lot of people trying to imitate what's popular right now, but what was popular yesterday is not going to be popular tomorrow. You know what I mean? So you just got to do you, like 100%.
Yeah, I feel that. As far as like future music plans that you got going on, do you kind of plan on a project coming out this year, or are you still trying to get your feet wet with dropping some songs, just some singles and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been figuring that out. I think I have decided I do want to drop a project this year, just like a small LP. But what it is, I have like 20, 30 songs that like I'm happy with. But now it's literally just the logistics of trying to like book out the studio, trying to find an available producer, like doing all the promo and like stuff like that. But yeah, I am thinking like later on, like maybe autumn this year, I'll be dropping a project. It's called Night Tales, and then yeah, then I have like other singles that I plan to like release like over the next 12 months.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
man.
man.
That's good, man. We got to look forward to that, man. Honestly, I
Yeah,
need that Koza feature too, man. If you got to open,
yeah, man.
go ahead and send that over. Send it over to the
Hell yeah,
email. I'll send it back. You get that Southern American audience. I get that UK audience, man.
bro. Hell yeah, mate. Send it through. Send it through. We've got the connection
That's
already.
like that's like when Jay Z linked up with Linkin Park, man, for that shit, man.
Bro, yeah, man. Man, what a collaboration that was. Yeah, man, let's do it. Absolutely.
Have
Yeah.
you plans to like go around to like the different? Because I know with like European countries, it's just a train ride away, and you can go to other countries and stuff. You got
Mm.
plans to like collab with like other um like an Italian artist or like a French artist or anything like that? Do you want to kind of
Yeah,
branch?
I mean, further down the line, absolutely, absolutely. Right, like, so I am in touch. Like, one of my, so I used to study in Hong Kong a few years ago now. It
Nice.
was like an exchange year, and my roommate was Polish, who was also a rapper. So I'm still in touch with him. And then, yeah, like, it, I do see what you're saying. Like, these countries are quite close, but then it's all about like finding the right people. You know what I mean? It's definitely like yeah, something I want to branch out doing, but I feel like I need to like get my catalog like sorted first, get some like traction in the UK going, and then I can take that to an international like different artist, and then say like, look, this is what I'm about. Like, then we can like work with something.
True. Yeah, I guess you got to just build up your fan base because, as you said, I mean, you're kind of new to it. But
Yeah.
you got a pretty stable core right now? Do you feel like you know where your audience is, or are you still trying to find that too?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. I feel like, getting these radio plays has like massively helped. So like you said, like Kohli, yeah, a station out in Australia played it, and then I get emails whenever anyone Shazams like my songs, and
Yeah.
then I saw like a few people like out in Australia Shazamming it, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, hope they
Nice.
followed me on Instagram, like stuff like that. And then yeah, my latest release, Shadows. So I dropped that 2 weeks ago, and then literally within the first week of me dropping it, the BBC played it, and I'm still doing the promo for it. I'm still like sending it out to radio stations, DJs, music bloggers, playlisters, like all of that. So I feel like I'm in the journey right now, like building up that fan base. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy it every step of the way, and then the more I share about myself, like the more I'll be able to like connect with them.
How much of an influence does like the BBC radio have out there, as far as like if they play your song, is that like a huge look, or is that
Mm.
like something that most people are gonna like breeze by and not even notice type of thing?
I mean, personally, yeah, it is like in my mind anyway, that's definitely like a milestone because, there's millions of people in the UK. There's only like sort of one BBC, and kind of like BBC is like the national like that's like set in the national level. Like you can
Okay.
get played on like more local radio stations, and there are other national radio stations as well. But I feel like once you make that jump from like a local station to a national station, like that kind of sets the bar, so to speak.
So you just jumped straight to the national station. Is that you just got like someone noticed your stuff, or you like was submitting it to them and they just fucking with
Um, I guess I kind of did jump to the national station, but I've written these songs like over the last few years, and I've worked in them, and I've worked in my craft and everything. So it's not like I woke up one day and then ended up on the BBC. It's kind of
it?
like, yeah, although that would be cool. I mean, I did like I do have like collabs that I did with my best friend from school, but that was like a bit more casual. Like one of them is a drum and bass song, and like yeah, Purple Tiger is his name. He literally texted me one day saying like, "Oh yeah, bro, can you do me a song and just rap about the universe and life and stuff?" And that's all he sent, and I was like, "What does that even fucking mean?" Like, yeah, so like it's kind of like I've been taking it more serious as the years have gone by. But yeah, my first single was Kohli, and then yeah, kind of just I think it was the right place, right time because at the time as well when I submitted it, it was I think it was just coming off the end of like one of the cricket World Cups, and I feel like yeah, just like kind of be like understanding the context of like what people are thinking and what they're doing, and then trying to hit that niche. Like yeah, it definitely went a long way.
Right, right. Yeah, I fuck with Coley and Shadows. I feel like Shadows is my favorite one. Like that, that you just went hard on that one, Paul.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, that I mean, is that like your sound for like the hip hop stuff? Because I know you say you do the rock as well, but like the rap, is that kind of like your sound, or is that something that you was experimenting with trying out?
Yeah, I mean, good question. To be fair, I feel like I'm still experimenting,
Fair.
but
Yeah,
like everyone listens to drill music, or like I've been listening to drill music for like the last 5 years straight,
yeah,
and I feel like there's a lot out there. So if I ever wanted to do it, like I wouldn't want to just sound like everyone else, which is why I think Shadows is a bit different like that
yeah,
because I'm not rapping about like the usual stuff that other people tend to. I'm like rapping about like my life, like what I intend to do, like the fact that I don't really like no adversity like can like get in my way kind of thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I feel like yeah, it takes a lot to like write something a bit different like that, while at the same time incorporating like that Bollywood sample in the beat, and like trying to keep everything like focused. So yeah, I feel like in that sense, I am still figuring out my sound because then you listen to Shadows and you listen to Kohli, like you might think they're two different artists just because Kohli's like way more light-hearted, flirty, whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, like the way that I started writing music, like I say, is just like experimenting by myself anyway. And I'm not in a like people have like told me to consider it, but I'm not in a place right now where I want to like commit to a certain genre. I just want to keep experimenting, see what I like, see what other people like, and then just figure it out later on.
Well, I feel like that's the best way as an artist to just like grow, just not box yourself in. You got to have versatility. I feel like
Yeah.
you definitely have to have like a signature sound where if like somebody like hears a song, they're like, "Oh, this is definitely like a Koza style." You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
But if it's like, if you get into a whole different bag, as long as it's natural to you,
mm.
it doesn't really matter how different it is. As long as it's good music, I think people are still just gonna rock with it. So
Yeah, I appreciate that.
even some of the greats, just like Kanye, he just does different sounds on each album. So
Yeah.
keeps fans on their toes, man. Make sure that you never it makes sure that your sound never gets stale, never gets old,
Mm, mm.
and it's more exciting to just play with different sounds as an artist. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
Yeah, 100.
Gotcha. So outside of cricket, man, have you been? You got any other like sports hobbies? Have you been into the Euros that's been going on?
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. So I play like, I mean, I feel like most British boys, like everyone plays football, like at some point or another. And then I've been playing football like with my Sunday league team for about a year now. I literally play football a couple times a week,
Yeah,
and yeah, the Euros are like it like the country's happiness depends like on every game. Like the further we go, like it's always so tense.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, been enjoying it for sure, for sure. I feel like England, yeah, they have a good chance here, so I really hope they make it.
yeah. When I was in Germany, the Euros was still going on. So like all the like different tourists of people were coming in, and it's
Mm.
crazy to see how like y'all Brits really just like turn up for it, man. Like
Yeah,
everyone else hated y'all. Like,
Yeah. Not surprised, not surprised. Yeah, like yeah, Brits on tour is like yeah the sort of cliche like
yeah,
yeah,
I definitely got to.
rowdy guys supporting football.
It was y'all and the Danish. I was surprised to hear like the
Really, yeah.
people wasn't really fucking with them, but like the British people, I was like, I could see that. But
Yeah, yeah. You know, like football's like, because we hope like we have the Premier League here as well. So like, no matter where you live, like you're near a football stadium of some sort or another. And like, yeah, everyone in like pretty much most people like they're into their football here.
yeah. I don't feel like here in the states we have like as much pride for like our sports, like our American football, we go crazy for. But y'all's
Mm.
like soccer, y'all's football, y'all just take it to another level, man. Y'all got the dance and everything. Y'all got like
Yeah,
y'all just be drinking 20 drinks for one game, and then stop
yeah,
more. Like y'all turn up to a different level.
yeah. It's crazy. It's
So like
crazy.
that level of excitement goes like more translates to like the music festival scene, as like
Mm,
everybody just goes crazy during the festival, or is it
mm.
kind of different?
I mean, I guess it depends who you are, like who you're friends with, like what you guys like doing.
Fair?
You are right though. Like football, like that scene is definitely heavier, but I feel like it's a different crowd as well. Um, maybe like probably like yeah, they might not necessarily listen to music or whatnot, but they're all there for the football, for the history. Like their families have probably supported like the same team for generations.
Right.
That sort of thing. So it's kind of like coming from a different place. Whereas music, like I feel like probably could be like a bit more accessible to people on football. So yeah, different crowds, I guess.
I see that. I feel that, man. All right, man. Well, you got anything else you want to get off to the people, man, before we wrap this up, man? Anything else
W-
we got to look forward to?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so yeah, Kohli, Shadows both have music videos out right now. You can follow me on Instagram, the Koza Gram. So that's Koza, the Koza Gram. And yeah, just like watch this space. I've got a lot in store. And yeah, I hope to keep just dropping bangers that reach the States as well.
Man, we'll promo it as we can, man, because I feel
Appreciate
like
that.
you definitely got like a good sound as well, especially for someone you've been writing for years, but you're just now putting it out. So I definitely say don't get into the habit of just keeping songs in the vault, man. Let it unload the chains,
Mm,
man.
yeah,
Because that's a
absolutely.
slope. I already know as an artist myself, I got songs that probably never see the light of day, but that's just because we're just making them and we can be our own
Yeah.
hardest critics sometimes.
Yeah, true. Absolute facts, absolute facts. But yeah, man, I'm trying to get them out the vault onto the net. Yeah.
And then, man, hey, man, Koza Austin Fortson collab, man. We get that going.
Mate, send your tracks through me.
We going.
Absolutely, man. Straight to the top. Straight to the top. Hell yeah, bro.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by, man. Um, if there's anything that you need, just hit us up. I'm gonna be looking out for your music. I'm gonna be looking out for everything that you do.
Likewise.
Down, man.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, man.
Cheers, man.
Looking out, man.
Take care.
Have a good one.